Hello, folks, and welcome back to it's basically a continuation of last week's video. If you haven't seen last week's video yet, I'm not going to go over everything that we discussed in that one. What I did notice in last week's video is the huge outpouring of people in the comment section, social media, email, who are having similar issues to the issue that we've been having over the last 6 months with not being able to find Andy a school after moving house to a new area. So it is definitely something I am looking to sort of collate that information, package it up and send it off into the appropriate directions. I'm not entirely sure what the appropriate directions will be. I've got a few of the media contacts I've been working with over the last few weeks. You know, I've obviously done a lot of work with the National Autistic Society in the past as well. So I'm going to collect all that together and get it sent off and say, look, it's not just us that's the issue. There are dozens, if not hundreds, probably. I mean, this is just on our small sample size, but I've seen dozens, if not hundreds of examples of people not just missing out on education because of autism or other special needs, but they're missing out on other services as well, or just falling through the cracks as part of everything that's been going on over the last year or so with the pandemic. So I am reading all of the comments that come in. I am not ignoring you. I don't get a chance to reply to everybody, but know that they are all getting read, and I am going to look to try and do something with it. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to achieve. We managed to make a little bit of a song and dance in the media from our perspective because it kind of coincided with World Autism Awareness Week, which is going on right now. So there was a little bit more of a willingness to listen from the media at the moment. But if anyone from the media is watching this, and this will be part of the package that I send out, I am happy to act as a go-between and put you in touch with some other families so you can feature them as well. Let's not just make this a story about Andy. It is a story about the ongoing issues that people have of not getting what they need because of having additional needs. And it's not right. We talked about it last week. It's absolutely not right. And it is something that we are going to be not letting drop just because we've got what we wanted, or we think we've got what we wanted. I mentioned this a little bit in the video last week. We've had a little bit more of a progress report on it now. It's still not 100% that Andy has a new school set up in this new area, but it is looking pretty likely. We've got a meeting. It's the school that we wanted. It's the first choice school we had when we came over here. They weren't able to accommodate him initially, apparently, but they've since changed their tune, and it looks perfect for him. It's a school specifically for children with autism and other special needs, similar to the school that he was at back where we used to live. It looks like they've got a very similar setup, very similar services, facilities to what he had at his previous school. They're able to keep him there until the year he turns 19. So at the moment he's 16, he turns 17 in July. So that actually means rather than just getting the rest of this year and then next school year, which is what we thought he was going to have available, he could potentially be in there for the next 2 years, which is what he was going to have at his previous school in the old area. But over here, the local authority has always been talking of, as soon as he's 18, that's it, we're done. And he turns 18 next summer. So we assumed next year would be his final year in school. But from what we've been reading about with this school, it looks like they can keep kids there up until the age of 19. So potentially he's got a school placement for the next couple of years. We've got a meeting in 2 weeks' time where we've got to take him in. They're basically just looking to meet Andy, make sure that in person he matches up with what is on his EHCP, his educational healthcare report thing, and just have a chat with us about what our expectations are, make sure we're all looking for the same thing, we're all going to be pulling in the right direction. But the way I understand it, it is very much a rubber stamping meeting, as long as we don't go in there with unrealistic demands and expectations, and as long as they haven't been lied to convince them to take the meeting, which I'm fairly confident they haven't been. I've seen some of the emails that have gone back and forth between various departments and the school. It all looks pretty positive. So hopefully, after what will by then have been over 6 months of no school, and before that he had another 6 months. I mean, he was back to school for like 6 weeks in September at his previous school, but he was pretty much off for 6 months before that with everything that had been going on with the pandemic. He'd been in and out sort of sporadically over that time, never inconsistently. So it's looking like finally, touch wood, after about a year of not really attending school regularly, there could be some light at the end of the tunnel. It does bring its own potential complications and problems as well. We've finally got some carers set up who've been working with Andy for the last month or so. They come in Tuesday and Thursday afternoons for 3-hour sessions, and they're making real progress with him. The first couple of sessions they came in, they were just basically sitting and watching telly with him, getting to know him, trying to play board games, but he wasn't really engaging with them. But over the last week or so, they've managed to get him out in the garden playing swing ball without us, which is something he's never done before. And last week, they even got him out for a walk. He was out for a good 45, 50 minutes, just walking, again, without us there. Went for a little walk around the local area, found a local park, found a local church, had a little bit of a wobble at the church because the church was closed and he wanted to go in. It's one of the reasons we haven't been taking him to show him the local churches, because we know he won't like it when he can't go in them. But they dealt with the wobble really well, and he's getting on really well with them. But of course, once he's in school, that service doesn't get taken away, but the routine for it's going to change. He's not going to be able to do it Tuesday and Thursday afternoons anymore because he's going to be at school on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So we're going to have to figure out how we can fit that into what will be his new routine when he's back at school. We have 6 hours of that carer time a week allocated to us during term time and 10 hours a week allocated to us during the school holidays. So my initial thoughts are we probably just do the whole 6-hour block on a Saturday, like Saturday afternoon or something. Just do the full 6 hours. It gives him the opportunity to go out with them on Saturday afternoons and go and do stuff. They've talked about once lockdown restrictions start to ease a little bit, they're happy to take him to Nottingham to ride on the trams. They're happy to take him down to London to ride on the tube, which I'm not entirely sure I'm happy with them taking him down to London. But having it as a 6-hour block means that they've got time to go and do stuff for them, but it also means we've got time to go and do stuff for us as well. So when Amy's with us every couple of weeks, we've then got 6 hours where we can go out and do something. We can go and see a movie. We can go out and have something to eat, that kind of thing. Things that we can't really do at the moment because Andy's always here. We're kind of been lucky in a way that there's been no new Avengers movies in the last 6 months, because if there had have been, we wouldn't have been able to go and see them. There's been no time when we could go. But I'm thinking if we can get his carer stuff onto Saturdays, and then during the holidays, when he does have the extra 4 hours a week, we can then put them back into Tuesdays and Thursdays in the afternoons. But of course, this is all got to happen by negotiation with the carer agency. And we don't know if they're going to be able to agree with it or if we're going to have to fit it in somewhere else. But I think he'll struggle with doing full days at school, then coming home and having to engage with something else and go and do stuff with his carers, because that's not something he's ever done before. And I think that will be a little bit of a challenge. And the other challenge that I anticipate when it comes to school is because of the fact that with lockdown and COVID and all that kind of stuff, driving instructors haven't been taking on new people, at least in our area. We've lived here 6 months. Anna still hasn't got a driving instructor because everyone she contacts isn't taking on new customers. And even as lockdown restrictions ease, we found this last summer, as the restrictions started to ease, even then instructors weren't necessarily taking on new customers because they then had a backlog of people who needed tests, because driving tests haven't been happening while we've been in full lockdown restrictions. So there then becomes a huge backlog of tests. And certainly where we were living before, it was like a 3 or 4 month wait for a driving test. So Anna is no further on with driving than she was 6, 7, 8 months ago. So I would suggest she's probably still, bearing in mind the waiting time to get a test booked in, she's probably at least 6 months away from being able to drive herself to work every day. And we could potentially get into a bit of a sticky situation where, because the school and Anna's work are in completely opposite directions, if they both need to be there at the same time, it's going to be interesting how that works out. But ultimately, to use one of my Football Manager cliches that I like to use on my other channel, it's a nice problem to have. If we're worrying about how we can get Anna to work and Andy to school, and then me sit at home and work uninterrupted all day, that's a much better problem than the problem we've got at the moment of he's here all the time, he's bored, he doesn't want to be here, and I can't go and do anything. It's progress. It is progress, and progress is awesome. So thank you for all the kind words we got last week. Again, thanks to everybody who got in touch and let us know your stories, because they are certainly things that I want to. I realise I abused my position a little bit to be able to push this forward last week, and I don't feel like abusing the position should end just because we've got our problem fixed, let's fix some problems for other people as well. So we're certainly going to try and do that. And fingers crossed, the next time you see me talking about this kind of thing, it's going to be even more good news. That's it for the Andy update for this video. I am going to be finally getting through the backlog of PO Box stuff that I haven't opened for about a month. I've got a big pile of PO Box stuff that I'm going to open in the second part of the video, which I know a lot of you enjoy watching. So stay tuned for that. But first, we've got to jump back to Past Kev, who's got a word from this week's video sponsors. Past Kev here with a quick message from this week's episode sponsors, Skillshare. Now, as I'm sure you know, Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creators. You can explore new skills, deepen existing passions, and get lost in creativity. They have classes on all sorts of topics, ranging from illustration and graphic design through to productivity and lifestyle, and even cookie decorating. And one course that I'm particularly interested in at the moment is Everyday Minimalism. Find calm and creativity in Living Simply by Erin Boyle. I'm really interested in the idea of minimalism, which you wouldn't believe, having seen my office. It's like the opposite of minimalism. And sometimes I do feel a little bit cluttered and cramped. I'm trying to apply minimalist principles to all sorts of areas of my life, from finances and health to, I guess, sooner or later, my living and working space. And I'm starting to explore a number of classes like this one to learn more about a topic that interests me. Skillshare is curated specifically for learning, meaning there's no adverts and new content is being added all the time. Plus, it's less than $10 a month with an annual subscription. There's a link to sign up at the top of the description below, and the first 1,000 people who use it will get a free trial of Skillshare Premium. So you've got nothing to lose. So go try it out, and you too could be minimalising your workplace or decorating really fancy cookies. Back to future Kev. Thanks, Past Kev. And as I mentioned, quite the backlog. I need to put this down somewhere. Thank you to everyone who sent stuff to the PO Box. This one looks like it's already been opened. That one's because it's not PO Box. That was some Gusto recipes that got damaged and they sent me replacement ones. Right. So this first one is Books to Door is the label on the back. So I'm guessing it's some kind of book in here. What have we got? It's a book with no explanation of who it's from. We've been sent a book. If you sent us the book, thank you for the book. A letter. Now, let's have a little look at what we've got here. Oh my word, what is this? It is a vegan Italian cookbook, which I've actually recently, like in the last week, gone full vegan again. Not necessarily a permanent thing. It's still going to be having to try and fit it around Anna, but we've been experimenting a lot with some more vegetarian and vegan recipes again over the last 3 or 4 months, while I've only been semi-plant-based, and we've kind of got a week's worth of recipes that she quite likes. So for the last week, I've been full vegan again. So yeah, getting some more recipes is always handy. Like I said before, when we talked about it, I could comfortably be a vegan for the rest of my life now. I really enjoy the way I feel when I'm vegan. I enjoy all the vegan food. We live in an area now where there's lots of little lambs out at the moment because it's spring, and that was one of the things that really spurred me on to go full vegan again, just driving past these lambs and thinking, I don't want to eat you. You're too cute. So yeah, thank you, whoever sent us that. This one has it got a note? None of these have had notes so far. This is a cool little image. I don't know if you can see that. Is that focusing in on that? Just says our family. And then it's got Wellington boots for each of us and a bowl of food for Dave. So thank you to whoever sent that. Again, none of the notes, if you want me to be able to say thank you, you've got to leave a note in there to let me know who's sending stuff. Otherwise, I feel like a monster for not thanking you properly. This one is just a bag of sweets. Have we got a note in here? There's no note in here. I imagine these don't fit in with my new vegan lifestyle again. Oh, it does say suitable for vegetarians, actually. Although to be fair, Anna loves these, and I don't really eat sweets, but Anna will definitely be all over those. I'm sure they're amongst her favourites. So thank you for those. This is just my latest copy of the Autism magazine, which I don't think that was a PO Box thing. I think that was a redirection label from our old address. Sometimes stuff like that gets mixed in with the PO Box stuff. It just goes in a big pile near our front door until the pile gets so big that Anna tells me I have to open everything. This one has got a letter. So this one's for Andy. Here's a unique fidget toy from the USA. It's not sold in the UK. It's different from anything else being sold on the internet at the moment. And I know you like fidget toys, so I thought I'd send you one. This is from Becky Green in Southampton. I'll make sure Andy gets it. Thank you, Becky. And it is... Oh, that's really cool. It's like a little, like she says, a unique fidget toy that is not available in the UK currently. It's a little thing that you fiddle with, as fidget toys usually are. Thank you, Becky. That's very kind of you. Oh, this one is a big old box. It says handle with care. Kev, please open on camera. I am opening on camera. Let's get into it. Oh. Read me first. Okay. So we have a letter. Hello, Kevin family. Hope you're all keeping well and safe. I'm Rach and I come from Anglesey in North Wales. I'm almost 31. Included in this box is a present for you. It's something you've always wanted. A Nintendo Switch game for Anna and something yummy for Dave. My dog loves them. I hope he does too. You make amazing videos. You guys are an awesome family. Keep up the good work. Love, Rach, aka Baby Chicken Studios on YouTube. Rach, thank you very much. Let's have a look to see what we've got in here. We have it's just a carrier bag for packing, I think. And we have, very cool. Switch game for Anna. Thank you very much. And get the dog treats for Dave, which I'm sure this is why he's been sniffing around the PO box as much as he has. And then this is brilliant. Rach, thank you. I was very jealous when Andy got one of these. That's very cool. I'm going to Andy will steal it almost immediately. But that is very cool. Thank you very much. And then we've got one more big old box down here. Oh, this one's heavy. This is very heavy. And the microphone's in the way now. Sorry, microphone. Sorry if you can't hear me properly for a minute. Oh, my word. Oh, Dave, this is why you've been sniffing around the PO box stuff. This is a lot of things for Dave. A big box of treats. Not sure what this is. It's like a toy. Another big thing full of dog biscuits. We have some dog sausages. Some pure meat strips. And a sheep. Dave. Dave. Do you want a sheep? Dave's behind me now. Dave, where are you? Dave, come here. Do you want this sheep? There you go. That's yours. I need to make sure he doesn't get in this box and eat all of those treats in one go. Did that have a note who it was from? I don't think the dog stuff had a note who sent it. Thank you, whoever sent the dog stuff. That's very kind of you. Let me know down in the comments if you're the person who sent the dog stuff. But that concludes the PO box opening. Thank you to everyone who was kind enough to send stuff through to the PO box. You're all awesome. It's never expected, but it is always appreciated. So thank you very much. And we'll wrap this video up here. If you have enjoyed it, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for us. Subscribe to the channel for more stuff just like this, really. And, you know, lockdown's easing now. We might actually be able to get out and about again soon, which will be nice. And thank you very much for watching.